Hi there, my name's Ben and I like to read. Today we are going to be reviewing Candide by the French author, satirist, and philosopher Voltaire. Now, a classic in satire and philosophical thought, Candide explores the titular character who grew up in a small little county in Germany during a time where Europe was being ravaged by war. He falls in love with his master's daughter, Cunigond, and gets involved in some indiscretions with her. The Baron, who is Cunigond's father, is very upset and decides to banish Candide along with his philosopher teacher Pangloss, and they go off on unrealistic and absolutely absurd adventures in the search for the best of all possible worlds, and of course to reunite with Candide's love, Cunigond. This book is hilarious, it's heart-wrenching, but it's also very, very thought-provoking. There is a lot of stuff to unpack within it, and even though it is short, the book itself may be, the main body of the story is maybe 135 pages. There is a lot to unpack in it, but it does so in a way that's humorous, that really forces you to think like all good satire does. Essentially, the introduction to this book, of course, is also really, really good. It's entitled The Tragedy of Optimism, and we see our main character, which, grows from this very naive boy who's been schooled by his philosopher teacher to, we have to find the best of all possible worlds, we have to be optimistic, and then eventually through his adventures which take him to Portugal, which take him to South America, to El Dorado, which take him finally to Istanbul in Morocco, where he's reunited with Cunigond, and they settle down in a quote-unquote happily ever after, not to spoil the book for you. But again, you notice Candide evolve from a naive optimist into much more of a more measured and subdued, a realist in that sort of a sense. And I think that that's sort of what Voltaire wanted us to do. He's like, again, it's good to be optimistic, but again, we have to tend our garden, which is the ultimate line of the book, which is like, yes, this is the best of all possible worlds, but let us tend to our garden. It's like, okay, like that can't be the only focus. We have to actually do work now. Just finding the best of all possible worlds isn't enough. You actually have to work to tend the garden. You have to upkeep this best of all possible worlds. And I think in doing that, Voltaire exposes and satirizes quite well many different philosophers who, in his mind, they may think, okay, just all of this philosophical and moral grandstanding is enough to build this best of all possible worlds, and then that's that. Philosophy only gets you so far. And I think that that's really the great masterstroke of this book. Now, of course, I've read it in the original French, and this is the English version that I have here. Both of them, I would say, are really, really good. Of course, if you don't read French, this English one that I have the enriched classic version right here. Really, really awesome. There's good notes in it. The introduction is fantastic. Really helps to put the necessary context in there. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me hearing, read the introduction and the foreword, but you can't skip out on it. And you can't skip out on this book either. It is essential for those of you who like good satire, for those of you who enjoy a good laugh, who maybe even want to bring a tear to your eye, but it's a really, really solid piece of satire, and just cements Voltaire's place as one of the preeminent thinkers of his day that ultimately stands the test of time. So give it a read, and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching.